So we can't listen to my Instagram videos on
No. Okay. Alright guys, so I've been getting so many questions about what they should do to lose weight for summer, what they should do to gain weight, and it's so many questions that I decided to make a video about it. This is a video I wanted to do a long time ago, explaining the science behind macronutrients, calories, and all that good stuff. So this is how to lose or gain weight. So watch this formula right here, and you'll be able to tailor it to yourself. So get out a pen and paper and write down your own things. This is for my body specifically. So first thing we need to find out before we start anything else is your maintenance calories. So these are the calories that you burn by doing absolutely nothing. So if I'm just waking up and laying in bed all day, this is the calories I'm going to be burning about. So how do we get these calories? You take your weight, so I'm 200 pounds, take your weight, times it by 10, so 10 calories per pound, and that's where I get the 2,000 calories. That's my metabolic rate. So that's the resting metabolic rate, the rate that I was talking about that you burn just on a daily basis. Now, we come down here, and this is your factor number. So this is determined by male or female. This is determined by your body fat. It's determined by your hormones. This is a ton of different factors, and you get this number 1.3 to 2.3. And this is a multiplication factor that you times your initial metabolic rate, and you can get your range. So for the people on the lower end of the spectrum, this is going to be females. This is going to be people with higher body fat percentage. This is going to be people that are lower activity as well. At the higher end of the spectrum, this is going to be the people that are men. This is going to be, you have a lower body fat, so you have more of a lean body mass, and high activity. So if you're working out a lot, if you're a server, if you're a construction worker, people that are always moving, you're going to burn more calories on a day-to-day basis. So if you're a woman, you could either keep this number, this resting metabolic rate. This number is actually a pretty good indication of women. Or you can go up to like 1.5, but past 1.5, unless you're a freak athlete, you're always doing something, and you're super active, low body fat, then I wouldn't go past this 1.5. So this 1.3 to 1.5, maybe 1.7 at the highest, is going to be good for women. For men, this 1.5 to 2.0 is kind of right in the middle range. Nobody's really going to be at this 2.3 unless you're a endurance athlete or something. But this 1.5 to 2.0, that's where a majority of the people are going to lie. So now you take this factor number. So this is my maintenance calories, 2,000. You take this factor number. So I take the two ranges that I said are most common, 1.5. So I do 2,000 times the 1.5, which is going to equal 3,000 calories. Then I take the 2,000 and I times that by the 2.0, that equals 4,000 calories. So that's going to be my range. This is the low end of the spectrum. This is the high end of the spectrum. So 3,000 to 4,000 calories, that's what I burn on a day-to-day basis. And that includes my workout, that includes how I burn food, my metabolism, all that different kind of stuff. So 3,000 to 4,000 calories is my starting point. So now that isn't going to be the most accurate way to figure it out. The most accurate way to figure it out is for 1 week, eat in between these ranges. So let's say you eat at 3,500 calories for 1 week and you lose weight. That means that you are on the higher end of the spectrum. Now let's say you eat 3,500 calories and you gain weight. That means you're on the lower end of the spectrum, and that means your maintenance calories are under 3,500. So I figured out that my maintenance is around 3,300 calories. So 3,300 calories. And so I take that maintenance number. Now, if I want to shred or lose weight, I got to put myself in a deficit of calories to start losing weight. So let's say I take 500 calories out of my diet, that's going to equal the shred or the weight loss. And I only do 500 calories at a time. You can do a little bit more, a little bit less, but 500 calories is a good starting point. And you do that because if you drop way too fast, so let's say I cut out 1,000 calories, it can mess up your metabolism, it can make you feel like crap. It's just going to shock your body, and you're not going to get the results that you want. So if you try to go too fast, it's probably going to have reverse results. So 2,800 calories is around my shredding to my weight loss at the 200 pound mark. Now if I want to bulk, in which I was bulking, 3,800 calories is around my bulking range. So I was eating about 4,000 calories before I started this 12-week shred. I was eating about 4,000 calories to gain about a pound a week. So that's going to be if you want to gain weight. Now, why do we do 500 calories? Like I said, so 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. So if you want to lose 1 pound, you have to burn or not eat and displace of calories. That's how they say it. 3,500 calories. Now, if you want to gain weight, you have to eat an additional 3,500 calories over your maintenance to gain 1 pound. So let's say we eat every single day, we eat under 500 calories, you're going to lose 1 pound a week. Now, let's say you want to gain weight, you're going to eat 500 calories over your maintenance and you're going to gain 1 pound. And that's not an exact science. It's really close, but you could eat at this 2,800. You could eat this 2,800 and lose 3 pounds, and then the next week lose 2 pounds, and the next week lose 1 pound. Then just stay at those calories. That's a pretty good calorie count until you stop losing weight and you're not at your goal. So let's say you've lost already like 10 pounds and you stopped losing weight at the 2,800 calories. Start to bump down your calories a little bit. Same thing with bulking. Let's say you're gaining weight because your weight is going up, your maintenance calories are going to be different. Let's say you keep on gaining weight and it's like you're at 3,500 calories and you're not gaining weight anymore, then you're going to bump it up an additional like 200 to 300 to 400 to 500. I say 500 is about the max. So you lose or gain 1 pound a week. Now, for macronutrients. So hopefully I'm not going too fast, but I'm just trying to explain it, not make it a lengthy video. Macronutrients. So these are the nutrients that make up calories. So you've probably heard about it a little bit, but everybody's throwing around the word macros, and some people just don't understand it yet, and don't understand what ranges they should be eating at. So there's protein, fat, and carbs. So fat, there's 9 calories per gram in fat. So that means if something has 1 gram of fat, that means it has 9 calories worth of fat in that food. Carbs, so let's say it has 20 carbs. Let's say you're eating something that has 20 carbs. That means 4 times 20, which is the grams, is going to equal about 80 calories. And if you look at any nutrition fact, you can actually add up the calories. And it'll be close. Some companies don't put the exact calorie amount on there. They can round it up or down, but it's going to be close to that amount. Protein has 4 calories per gram as well. So carbs and protein both have 4. And as you can see, fat has twice as many calories per gram. That's why our fat isn't as high as our protein or our carbs, because it actually has twice as much calories. And a calorie is basically just something that gives your body energy. So fat gives you twice as much energy than carbs or protein. Now, before I move on to the rest of this, I just want to dispel any myths. And for example, people think you got to eat like 400, 300 grams of protein a day to gain muscle or shred up or be lean or something. And that's a little bit up to preference, but at the same time, I would say that high protein diets aren't the most effective way to do something unless your body handles protein a little better. But eating the 300 grams of protein is kind of a, I don't know how to say it, like a bro science thing. It's what we thought back in the day. It's a little bit of outdated information. Carbs, a lot of people are saying like, oh, if I want to just lose weight, I just got to cut carbs completely. While there's some truth to that, carbs are not your enemy. Carbs actually help with the muscle building process. Carbs actually help with your brain uses, the main source of energy that your brain uses are carbohydrates. Your main source of energy is carbohydrates. What your muscles use are carbohydrates. So if your carbs are lower than your protein, then your body's going to use protein instead of carbs for energy. And then fat, a lot of people think if you eat fat, you're going to be fat. So low-fat diets were like a thing for a while, which is actually very unhealthy because your body uses fats. There's fat-soluble vitamins. So I think it's A, D, E, and K that are fat-soluble vitamins. And your body won't be able to absorb those vitamins because of your low-fat diet. You're not going to feel good. You're going to have certain health problems and stuff. And actually, healthy fats are really essential to your brain health. So, I mean, there's a lot of good benefits to fat, and it just matters what kind of fat, which we're not going to talk about right now. I'll put that in the next video. But anyway, so let's break down your macronutrients. So this is for me personally. You're going to have to figure out your number here. Once you get your calories number that you want to go for, depending on if you want to shred or if you want to bulk or gain, once you get that number, write it down, and then we're going to figure out your macronutrients and figure out how many grams of protein, carbs, or fat you should eat. So with protein, really simple, it's 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. I do 1.5. I put 1.5 on there just for somebody that likes a higher protein diet, just to give it a little bit more range. But it's usually like 1 to 1.2, 1.3 grams per pound, and that will give you your protein. So my range, if I do 200 pounds, because I weigh 200 pounds, so 200 times 1, 200. 200 times 1.5 is 300. So my protein range is 200 to 300 grams. Now for fat is going to be 15 to 30% of your calories, which gets a little difficult and I didn't really want to explain it like super thoroughly. So I gave you I gave you factors that you can multiply your body weight by. So do 0.2 or 0.4 grams and times that by your body weight. So for example, I weigh 200 pounds. If I times that by 0.2, that's going to be 40 grams of fat. So that's on the low end. And then if I do 0.4 grams times the body weight, that's going to be 80 grams. So that's towards the higher end. And I actually sit right in the middle. I do 60 grams of fat per day. But I also do carb cycle, which is going to be another topic, like I said, in the next video. But that's going to be your fat range. So now once you pick your protein and you pick your carbs, you can now once you pick your protein and your fats, you can now figure out your carbs. Carbs are just going to be what's remaining out of your macronutrients, what's remaining out of your calories. So these are almost my macros, not exactly, but really close. So I picked 200 grams of protein, more towards the low end. My body doesn't absorb protein, break down protein as good. So I picked towards the low end of protein. So 200 grams of protein. So that's what I'm using. So I'm going to lift this up just in case you can't see it. But it's going to be 200 grams of protein. Now we times that by 4 because, like I said, there's 4 calories per gram of protein. So that's going to be 800 calories of protein. Now I'm going to do 60 grams of fat. So 60 times 9, because there's 9 calories per gram of fat. That's going to equal 540 calories. Now, if I add both of those up, here, move it over. So if I add both of those up now, I'm going to have 1,340 calories that I'm going to subtract from my total calorie bank. So the 2,750, which I'm eating every single day, subtract the 1,340 is going to equal 1,411 calories left over for my carbs, which is going to equal, I'm going to divide that by 4, so 1,411 divided by 4, and it roughly equals, not exactly, but roughly 353 grams of carbohydrates. So my macros, which I'm eating on a daily basis, are almost exactly that. 200 grams of protein, 60 grams of fat, and 353 grams of carbohydrates. Now, as I progress and I start to lose weight, these numbers are going to go down, which I'll explain in the next video along with my training video. So this is probably going to be a 3 to 4 part series, but this is just to get your maintenance calories, figure out how many calories you should be eating. This will get you started, and then once you get this initial base and this foundation, then we can go break down the macronutrients and how you can carb cycle, how you can do, and this is just for one typical diet. It's like the standard bodybuilding diet. But if you want to do ketogenic, your carbs are going to be really low, fat's going to be really high. Totally different video, which I could do if you want me to. But yeah, this is going to be your basic way to lose or gain weight. It's all about calories in, calories out. So you want to burn or displace more calories than you're eating. That's how you're going to lose weight. If you want to gain weight, I don't want to hear people saying, I'm a lean gainer or a hard gainer, I can't gain weight, whatever I do, I'm just not meant to be. Genetics are bad. Quite frankly, it's BS. I consider myself a hard gainer, and then here I am, like 70 pounds heavier than what I weighed in high school. So you just gotta break it down and then track. This tracking is so important, which we will talk about in the next video. But thank you for watching this. I appreciate it that you clicked and took the time to watch this video. Hope you got something out of it, and I will be putting up the second, the third, maybe fourth part of this series to get down the foundation, and then once we got the foundation of what the plan's going to be, we just have to act and just show up every day and get to work. So remember to level up your life, be uncommon, and stay blessed. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Thank you.
Oh, don't do that.
I did.